CAI. Very good team, very talented. I'm actually going to take them by a touchdown over Atlantic Del Rey.
I got to disagree with you on this one. I got Atlantic winning by 12 points.
I guess we'll see.
Yes, it will definitely be interesting, but Atlantic Del Rey's they've had some pretty strong years, and they've always had some pretty good teams. So, but yeah, like I said, I'm going with them by 12 points.
Okay. This is one I think I'm going to get a lot of heat from some Bulls with this one. Miami Central versus Northwestern. I'm taking Miami Central by 17 over Northwestern.
Man, this is probably going to be the best game in the whole state. It's definitely one of the best rivalry games right here. And I know I'm not from Miami, but I know a lot about some of the teams. Like, they got a crazy reputation. I mean, they're some of the craziest teams you'll ever face. This one, it's really tough to say because they both used to be in the toughest district in the whole state last year. It was 6A16, I believe, where you had Norland, Carroll City, Northwestern, and Central, and Hialeah, Miami Lakes, and that was a very tough district. And these two teams, they've always dominated. Typically, makes playoffs pretty much every year, and Miami Central is ranked actually higher than Northwestern, and Northwestern is this current. They were the 6A state champs from last year. This one, I'm gonna go with Central by 3 points.
Okay. And for the last of our games that I decided to identify, American Heritage Plantation versus Cardinal Gibbons. This is a matchup between two very talented teams in Broward County. Up until last year, American Heritage basically owned this rivalry, and then Cardinal Gibbons swept them, beat them in the regular season, and then beat them again in the playoffs. I'm going to say this game goes 3 in a row for Cardinal Gibbons. I'm taking Cardinal Gibbons by 10 points over American Heritage.
That's actually what I was going to go with. Cardinal Gibbons to win that game. Except this time it'll be by 2 touchdowns.
All right. Going bold there with that pick. As I mentioned a little bit earlier with top 25, as we've got a couple teams that were mentioned that were from the games this week. So I was going to go down the list, the top 25. Number 1 for the teams that I had for the 792 state rankings. Number 1, Lakeland. Number 2, Miami Central. Number 3, St. Thomas Aquinas. Number 4, Columbia. Number 5, Edgewater. Number 6, South Dade. Number 7, Rockledge. Number 8, Deerfield Beach. Number 9, Armwood. Number 10, Cocoa. Number 11, Gulliver Prep. Number 12, Miami Washington. Number 13, Miami Northwestern. Number 14, Cardinal Gibbons. Number 15, Barton Trail. Number 16, Chaminade Madonna. Number 17, Miami Palmetto. Number 18, Atlantic Del Rey. Number 19, Jones. Number 20, Vero Beach. Number 21, Flagler Palm Coast. Number 22, Sanford Seminole. Number 23, Naples. Number 24, American Heritage Plantation. And number 25, Columbus.
That was definitely an impressive top 25 right there, that's for sure.
Was there, I know, it's for North Florida, there was not really a lot of teams. We had a total of 3 teams from up in this area that were on that top 25, with Columbia at 4, Bartram at 15, and then Flagler Palm Coast at 21.
Yeah, it's difficult to say, I mean, I feel like the town has been more spread out this year for North Florida, but Columbia is definitely the dominating team, I believe, in the whole Northeast Florida region right now.
Also, other Northeast teams that we had, like in the rest of the rankings, Oakleaf at 27, Trinity at 28, DeLand at 31, Lee at 37, Mainland at 42, Rains at 45, and then we had Ponte Vedra, Fleming Island, Mandarin, Spruce Creek, Bowles, and University Christian all as honorable mentions in the poll.
Yeah, That sounds about right. It's after what we've witnessed these last few weeks with some of these games, and I feel like the way things are looking, Bulls or Ponte Vedra could be the next to make that top 50.
Ponte Vedra could definitely boost themselves big time, but to do so, they have to try to go through an undefeated Bartram team this week.
Yeah, and like I posted just recently, the game against Bartram Trail, that's basically the county championship. Pretty much whoever wins that game, that's pretty much your county champion right there. And Bartram has been very impressive. You know, they've had a tremendous season so far. I mean, just it's been unbelievable with them. And then, like I said about Ponte Vedra, the only way I would see them making the top 50 is if they go like at least undefeated, close to undefeated, probably towards the end of the season. And I know their schedule is not as tough as Bartram's either, so that's part of the reason why they're not in the top 50 despite their record.
And I can't even believe I didn't realize it. I should have had the Bartram Ponte Vedra game as one of our lists. But since we already brought that one up, I'm gonna say Bartram by 14 over Ponte Vedra.
It's a good pick. It's very interesting. This one, I was debating on this even before. It's just, like I say, it's going to be a good matchup, but I think Bartram, for this one, they're going to win by 15.
Wow. So, yeah. Was there any teams like that I may have left out that probably should be like at least honorable mention like in future weeks if they can keep winning?
You talk about for the region or the whole state?
Just for the region, I would say. Because there's a bunch of them for like the whole state.
Well, it's kind of tough to say because there's some teams, you know, whether they're since we have a lot of teams, you know, they're not undefeated, but there's some teams that I feel like could really be up there in the future depending on how good they go. Like I said earlier, Bulls isn't done yet, so I would definitely get them ready. If they keep playing the way they are, I feel like they'll make the top 50. University Christian is definitely a possibility. They're not done yet. Publicly, for public schools around the area, man, this is really difficult. Baker County, I feel like still has a shot this year to make the top 50. They still have an impressive team. They've been very good the last few years. And then Fleming Island, that is one team that's been very, very slept on by many. And they are still undefeated right now. They could definitely make the top 50 easily, especially if they win the district or go undefeated. I mean, that's just what I'm going with so far.
Oh, I just realized when you said Fleming Island, I started remembering I actually did have them as an honorable mention as well.
Oh, yeah, they've definitely been impressive this year. I mean, I believe that. Which one thing that I was looking at the scheduling about a month ago, them and Oakleaf are not playing each other, and basically that would be the county championship game right now. That would be the county championship game right there if those two were scheduled towards the end of the season. Because Oakleaf and Fleming Island, they're both tremendous so far.
I always thought that those county teams all played each other.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, but I guess that's just not. I guess not all teams are like that. I mean, it's same deal for St. John's. I mean, there's a few teams there, you know, that don't even play each other. Actually, Ponte Vedra is the only school in that county that played every team in St. John's County, like all the public schools.
Wow. I'm still trying to figure out what to make of St. Augustine. They took Bartram to the wire this recently, but I still feel like they are kind of underachieving so far this year for what I expected out of them.
Yeah, St. Augustine's, they've been one of the most dominant programs in the whole region. They have a long history of just being good, and they have an amazing head coach and the coaching staff. They've got some good players, and I know that season last year was very rough for them, and they won the district, but the district they were in last year, you know, most of those teams, you know, they just weren't there. And now they're in this newer district with, I believe, Inglewood, Ponte Vedra, and Matanzas, and I'm like, well, the way things are looking, I feel like they can still win the district, even for as young as they are. But this year, so far, they played a lot better. They've been playing a lot better this year compared to last season.
I'm thinking, I don't know if, I believe Ponte Vedra, they haven't played St. Augustine yet. At least I don't think they have.
They have not actually. I think they play. I think in a few weeks. I believe.
Yeah,
I haven't checked.
That's gonna be the battle for the district right there. Because Matanzas is not that good, and Inglewood, I think they just got destroyed by St. Augustine. I believe it was last week.
Yeah, that was by 4 touchdowns, I believe. That was not a good game. I think it was 39-7 or something, 38-7.
Is there? I'm not sure if you have any plans for next week, but I do know Lee will be playing Columbia for what will likely be the district championship right there.
They play each other, I think, in a few weeks, because I believe next Saturday, October 12th, is the annual Northwest Classic against Reebok, which that's always the game to go to no matter what.
Lee and Columbia, they play next Friday, October 11th.
Oh, shoot, I was thinking about Reigns and Reebok. I don't know why I was thinking about Lee. No, Lee and Columbia, though, that game will be, that will definitely be the decider of who wins the district, I believe, because Middleburg and Gainesville, they've been looking very rough this year. But I'm pretty sure when it comes to that game, Columbia is probably going to win that one by 2 touchdowns at least.
It's going to be very interesting because Columbia has not won consecutive district titles since their run from 97 to 2000 when they went undefeated 4 years in a row in their district. Since then, they have not won consecutive district titles at any point.
Yeah, that's, like I said, that's definitely going to be a big game, and basically that game will prove who's just going to be the better team in the district.
No doubt. So yeah, we got pretty good slate of high school games for this week, but before we wrap it up, we're going to hit on some college and pro football. I believe you're a Michigan fan, are you?
Yes, sir.
And they got to play Iowa this week, which that'll be a tough matchup. Yeah,
I agree. That's just, I've been kind of worried about them this year. They haven't been doing so hot, but that game, I feel like Michigan, after that game against Rutgers last week, they had a big confidence booster, so I feel like Michigan could win by a touchdown.
And for me, I'm going to probably take the opposite of that. I'm taking Iowa by a touchdown in this one.
Okay, that's fair.
I just don't really have that much confidence with the way from when I saw Michigan. I just wasn't that confident with what I saw.
Yeah, it's just, they played Rutgers. They're the worst team in the whole conference. But if Michigan can keep that, they can just keep their head up. Just focus on what needs to be done. I feel like they can win it, but chances are, if they let all that stuff get to their head, they're going to lose. But let's also talk about Florida versus Auburn, which is going to be a big game right there.
Actually, that was the next game up on the list. So, yeah, this one's going to be a very good matchup. 2 teams that are in the top 10, even though, me personally, I still feel like I would have Florida more 11 to 15 range, more so than top 10, just because I feel like they haven't really played the dominance that I would expect out of a top 10 team. They could definitely prove me wrong on Saturday. But I'm going to go with Auburn by 10 in this one.
Yeah, and I've said it before too. I'm also a Florida fan, as long as they don't play Michigan. And this is going to probably be their toughest game yet. Their schedule's been pretty easy for the most part, except I would say against Miami, the game against Miami was a shocker to me, just how way both teams are played. But this one, it's going to be I kind of hate to say it as well, but I got Auburn winning by 2 touchdowns.
Honestly, if Miami had not had a JV offensive line, they probably would have beaten Florida.
Yeah, I bet the Miami fans would not like to hear that, man. But that was just the way they played, though. There's bad games, but that should have been a better matchup than what it was.
Another one that I got my interest: Texas versus West Virginia. I'm going to go with Texas by 10 here.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So, I'm going to go with Texas by 2 touchdowns. It's just show West Virginia that they can dominate the Big 12